Okay, Dean, your box arrived today, so I'm going to go ahead and get you unpacked and have a look at what you sent me. I have a feeling there's a watch inside of here. Something tells me. Actually, it's another box. Okay. There may be a bullhead in my future, perhaps. And there it is. Okay. Whoops. Come back. Okay. Very cool. Oh. All right. Very nice. Well, let's see what we've got. We have a original 1976 6138. This is the 0040 Brown Bullhead, which is a lovely watch, one that I was wearing yesterday, in fact. Okay, well, it's a runner. That's a good start. That's where we want to begin. Let me go ahead and get myself prepared here a little better. Okay, so let's do a quick assessment and see where we are with the watch. Okay, it's very original, and that's always nice. It's got perfect lines on the case, a little bit of polishing here. So these are normally sort of very clear striations that have been polished a bit. You've lost a little bit of this edge here, but otherwise the sides, lightly polished, I would call this. Pretty good, pretty good. The crown is not original. That's one from the aftermarket. It's a little small. The crowns on these should be slightly bigger. I believe this is also an aftermarket bracelet, and you can tell that by the way they don't turn. So the real bracelets, the originals, they do turn here at this juncture here. These are a little long and they bind, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Still, good watch, good watch. You have seen some water inside the watch, so you can tell that from the lume. The lume is basically gone in terms of its coloration. It should be a nice white, which means that you've seen some moisture. Let's see how the reset is. Reset is good, so that's good. Your hands and your subs are good, and you have the original, what I believe to be the original sweep hand. Dial's in good shape. It's got a little bit of material here on this minute counter sub. You've got some, I would call it actually kind of nice patination on the hands. I think they look good. If you want to relume the dial, that's up to you. You can leave it as is. I'm not a huge fan of reluming stuff, only if it's really necessary. On this one, I'd say it's probably needed, but what's interesting is that you have sort of a remnant of color that's still actually not this black tar color on your markers, but I could actually tint lume to look more like your hand, so it was more uniform throughout, so it'd have a kind of warm yellowish rather than a bright white. We can talk about that. Okay, well, let's get it running fully. Let's see where we are. I'm going to turn off your chronograph, and I'm just going to wind power straight into the movement from the crown. That is curious. That I don't like to see. Okay, I'm going to actually open up your movement here, or open up your watch and look at your movement. It seems that it's running regardless of the state of the button. So either some part is missing. Let me get your case back off. I'll be right back. Okay, Dean, I went ahead and took your case back off. I'm uncertain what's happening here. So you can see there's one spot right here where you can actually, so this bridge, this winding, you know what? While we're here, let's just do it. Let's just take off your winding framework. So your movement has also seen moisture. This is a watch that's been wet. Don't see any substantive markings in the case, but you've seen some moisture. It's a very hazy movement. It's definitely one that's seen its day. This looks like a watch that perhaps came from the Philippines or South America, somewhere in that sort of source range. It is running, which is always a good sign. Oh my. Okay, so you got a loose bridge here, really dangerously loose. In fact, I can see the screw is not even catching on anything. All right, so we know where the source of issues are, is that things are just not tight. Ooh-wee. I have not seen that before. Holy mackerel. Okay. Well, that's just a very loose screw. Let's actually dig just a touch deeper, and this is a little bit further than I normally go on a evaluation, but I think it's important that we kind of get a sense of where the movement is to start with, because that's going to be really important for determining what we do next. Okay, so let me tighten this screw down if I can. Yes, I can. Okay, now we should be able to stop your chronograph. Start and stop. Yes, we can. Okay, that's good. Now I can actually put this back together without the winding framework in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually wind your watch here directly. And we're going to see how it's doing. Okay, so winding framework's been removed. Tighten down your bridge, and now we're going to have a look at how it's doing. Okay, so I can start and stop the chronograph now. What was happening was that bridge was sort of deflecting, and the fingers that stop the chronograph, start and stop here like this, start and stop, they were not actually engaging properly, and that let your chronograph continue to run even in the stop position. Okay, let's take a look, and we'll come right back. Hold on one second. Okay, well, yeah, so not great in terms of current signal and where we are. It could be a lot better. I think that, you know, it's a watch that's got some internal issues. You know, probably not a lost cause, but certainly one that you know, it has probably seen some moisture damage to perhaps a few components. The nice thing is that it's running, and that the chronograph resets and works. So that's always a plus. You want to have that. Signal is pretty rough. This is, again, what we're watching here is the balance, the tick and tock of the watch. Tick, 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 tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. That's what these little these little guys right here are. This is tick and tock. And so as a consequence, it should be one straight line, and this number here, this amplitude number, which is what we're really looking to get out of service, should be about 100 degrees larger than that. So you can imagine this balance wheel swings around a circle, which is 360 degrees. And for most Seikos, the proper range is anywhere from 220 to 250 in that, for a well-serviced watch, depending on age and all the other conditions that happen to be associated with that movement. And you can see yours is about 130. And so that's pretty poor, but it's a watch that's been wet and needs a service. So let's get back to the bench. We'll take another look. Okay, I went ahead and took your case back off because I plan on putting parts back together. I don't want to leave things separated from the movement. Having this in this sort of shape, of course, you can always say I've seen worse. It's a watch that's complete. It is running. Worse would be everything seized up and not running. This is a head and shoulders above that because it's actually working. It probably has no lubrication at all within the watch. So that's why you're seeing all that poor signal. This needs lubrication. All these pivots, everything within the watch needs to be lubricated. But you got a running watch. So that's always a great start. Well, I'm going to send you this video, Dean, and we can talk about next steps. Of course, service is what you're here for, and we can provide that and get everything cleaned up and ready to go again. I don't know what is lurking. Hopefully not much. Certainly we're going to look at everything super close and be really sure of what we're putting back together before we get it back together. And we'll go from there. All right. Well, thank you, Dean. I'll be in touch, and thanks for watching.